Thank you very much, Kanoa. Well, Halloween's a couple weeks away, but we saw a trick play and some scary good defense. A solid first half for your team. What did your assessment of that first half?
It's okay. We just got to, clean up on a little minor details. That play actually came. My dad put that play in this week, so that's a play that I've seen when I was like 8 years old, still watching him coach. So he put that in this week, so it was a little real fun for the kids, and they really liked that play. So it worked that first time. The second time it didn't work too good, but but the second half we just got to come out and just take care of the ball, correct our mistakes, and I think and play good defense.
Is that what you concentrate with your team to remind them another half of ball and that Farrington is a very solid team?
Yes, they're a very solid team, and they're not going to quit. They're going to come out. They're a very good team, and we just got to come out and play our best ball the second half too. We can't quit.
Well, again, with Halloween a couple weeks away, Chester Ghost Gray with the trick play. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half with your dad.
Okay.
Back to you, Kanoa.
Thanks a lot, Dave. First-year head coach Bobby Gray. You can just see the enthusiasm, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
14-7 is the score. Russell Shimoka will be bringing you the halftime entertainment in just a few moments. We'll be back with more from Mililani High School after this. McKinley up a touch.
Welcome back to Mililani High School field, where the McKinley Tigers have a 14-7 lead at halftime over the Farrington Governors. How you doing, everyone? Russell Shimoka, I'm your halftime host. For the past couple of weeks, the McKinley football Tigers have had a distinguished visitor at practice and along the sidelines at games. He's even here tonight. Well, it's been a blast for the past for these McKinley Tigers, and for these kids, it was like seeing a ghost.
In the 2 short weeks he's been helping out at McKinley, Chester Gray is well known. For one, he's the father of first-year head coach Bobby Gray, but more importantly, he's a McKinley legend.
They already know of him because every time they mentioned my name in the paper, it was Chester Gray's son. So, the ghost's son. So they all wanted to know. They always ask me about my dad. It's like, why did they call him the ghost? And I was like, I don't know. I guess because he was good.
No, this Tiger was great. Chester Gray ran the ball 3 years for McKinley. In 1970, he was the OIA East Back of the Year, scoring 18 touchdowns and averaged nearly 9 yards every time he touched the ball.
And I do remember the times when I played here. At 53 years old, I can still remember the amount of yardage I gained against Farrington, and I still remember some of the guys that I played against, Cliff LeBoy, Tua Sosopo.
Nicknamed the Ghost in high school, Gray's spirit lived on at Boise State, where he was a 3-year starter for the Broncos despite his pinto size. He played with more heart than stature, something his son Bobby now preaches to his undersized Tigers.
We're not very big, we're not very fast. We're small in numbers, but as long as you guys have heart and, you play together as a team, you will go places.
The elder Gray is looking to go places too. He's soon retiring from coaching after 30-plus years in Boise. His final play, he says, a chance to stand side by side with his son at his alma mater.
If everything works out, if Bobby's still here, I'm retired, I'll live down here part-time. I'll live up in Boise part-time. I'll certainly know when I'll live here part-time, obviously, during the fall.
He's going to get out here as soon as he can, and once he does, he's definitely going to have a spot on my staff, that's for sure. Good, nice job. Dad, work with his throwing. Make sure his throwing's good, okay?
With a name like Gray, Bobby was a shoo-in for the top job at McKinley, but he's more intent on making a name for himself. With a dad who's been coaching ever since he was in diapers, he didn't have to search far and wide for a philosophy.
Subconsciously, I'm just more, I'm a product of my dad. So everything that I believe and everything that I've been taught is through my father. So, I probably don't see it, but I'm sure that it comes across that everything my dad has taught me is I brought to McKinley High School.
And perhaps in a few years, the ghosts will be back, from black and white to present color.
Boy, look at that old pose, and you're not seeing a ghost here. He's actually live and in living color. Welcome, Chester Ghost Gray, back to Hawaii and back to our halftime set here. And first of all, we've got to ask you, we didn't say it in the piece there, but how did you get the nickname back in 1970 as the Ghost?
I believe it was Al Michaels who was doing local sports back then, and I remember
he used me as a great ghost because of the big plays I made, I guess. And then follow that up with the Star Bulletin picture going with segments of me running the football and going into that last segment kind of a blur, so to speak. I think that was on purpose, just to prove the point of the ghost being, disappearing, whatever.
Well, Chester, you were looking at that old black and white footage of McKinley football, the black and gold, and as you look at that footage, of course, you guys were moving a little faster back then. I guess it was the film. But what conjures up in your mind of the old memories here?
Oh, when those clips come on, I think about all my teammates on the team during those days, and the camaraderie I had, and just the way McKinley was playing back then. We used to win a lot of ball games, and it's nice. And I hope we come back to the good old days.
Speaking of good old days, this is footage from you at Boise State. Now, you went to Boise State for 4 years. You were a 3-year starter. In fact, you're still in the record books up at Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, average yards per carry. That's still in the record books. My years at Boise State have been very successful. I've enjoyed the time I was been up there, and Boise's been really a good town to me, as well as Hawaii, and I'm happy to be back here to see some of Bobby's games.
Okay, Coach. If and when you retire, you're going to have to leave the blue and orange colors up there. Of course, you'd be public enemy number one if you wore Boise colors to a UH Boise State game.
Oh, I think I'll still wear the blue and orange just to see the reactions I get. But I love it. I love it being here. I love being in Hawaii. Just at this short period of time. I'm anxious to get back home. Got a lot of things to do back there, but just a short period of time I've had here. I've enjoyed the kids that Bobby's coached. They're very, very good citizens. They respond very well.
A coach for 30 years up in Idaho. You've seen a lot of football on the mainland. How does the football here compare with the football on the mainland?
The kids here hit. They hit. It'd be, to me, up there, the kids will, they'll hit, but you don't hear the pop or the shoulder pads on a consistent fashion. Here, almost every play, kids are out there just throwing their bodies around, and the physicalness of the game is so much different here than it is in the mainland.
Born in American Samoa, moved here to Hawaii when you were a kid. In talking with Bobby this week, your son, he's a little mad at you and your wife because you took him out of Hawaii. You didn't let him grow up here in Hawaii. You stayed in Boise, Idaho, and he was a little upset about that. He says this is really his home, and that was the reason why he came back after playing at the Air Force Academy and also at the University of Idaho. He wanted to make his home here, teach here, and also coach here.
Not just Bobby being mad. My wife was just as mad. She thought it would be a 4-year, 5-year stay after graduation. I'd come back, but I ended up having an opportunity to coach at Boise State. End up staying there, and then all the opportunities thereafter with high school football, and just so happened, things just end up being the way it is. And Bobby does feel slighted not having to come home and play the brand of football that the local kids play here. And I always told him how tough the kids were back here, and all this and that. And he wanted to experience that, but unfortunately, no.
Well, how is your son doing thus far? He's got a 14-7 lead. Farrington's tough, but they can certainly come back in this one, huh?
Right. The momentum swing is back onto the Governors right now. There's a couple big plays made by McKinley, and Farrington is certainly running the clock and controlling the football a lot better than McKinley is right now. If it wasn't for those 2 long passes, Bobby's going to have to come back the second half and try to sustain momentum and keep the clock working. Try to get the running game going a little bit.
Well, spoken like a true coach. Hey, those old McKinley-Farrington rivalry back when they were both in the ILH has certainly continued here in the OIA. Chester, the Ghost Gray, thanks so much, and good luck to you as you ponder retirement. You don't look that old to retire. You look like you could still run the ball. We'll be back with more of our halftime show here on OC16.
The OC16 Sports Halftime Show is brought to you by your friends at the Tony Group Autoplex, Hawaii's Auto Mall.
The ghost is gone. In fact, he's just a mere image of himself. Anyway, just to get you an idea of how big this